Hey everybody. Now I have a serious topic I want to talk about for today's video. It has to do with franchises. Movie franchises, of course, because obviously a video game franchise wouldn't be my problem. But a movie franchise, no, that's taking it too far. You cannot ruin a movie franchise. But what we're talking about today is we're going to discuss a movie franchise and why they should not go on for so long. This doesn't really have to do with the ones that go bad and why they go bad. It's just one reason why there are some franchises and why some of those do go bad. It's a rare occasion, but I just want to discuss it real quick. Here's the problem with movie franchises. The long going. And here's what I think should happen with these franchises. While not a lot of movie franchises are like this, the ones that are like this, I think really need to focus on. I think a movie franchise should only really last under 19 movies. Any movie franchise that has over 19 films is really pushing the bar too much. And I just think that for some cases, a movie franchise has run its course when it has already had 19 movies. So, of course, this isn't something that's really happens a lot, but there is one specific franchise I want to talk about that is kind of suffering for this issue, and I do think needs a little change for that. The Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah. Here's the thing. I love Marvel, and I still do. Marvel has really done a lot. Their superheroes are fun. I love superheroes. But as much as I enjoy the MCU, there's a problem with it. It seems that recently, after Avengers Endgame released, a lot of the movies after that just haven't really been doing much for us. Seems most of them have turned out to not be very well received compared to the previous installments, and it just comes off as making really rough choices. And here's the thing, the reason behind that is that it obviously has run its course. The movie franchise has had 19 films, but Avengers Endgame was, of course, the 22nd film, I believe. And yeah, I know it's pushing too much, but after that, after Endgame, or maybe after Spider-Man Far From Home, here, and that was sort of the end of Phase 3, after that, anything after that really shouldn't have been part of the franchise. A franchise really doesn't need to be going for that long. See the thing, like, the problem with the MCU nowadays is that every movie that's come out hasn't really been setting anything up. There hasn't been any build up to these new movies. They haven't really been giving us anything that we can get excited for that much. We already had all of our excitement finally finished off with Endgame. There really isn't too much more excitement we can have. The big thing Marvel's been doing with their new movies is focusing on this thing called the multiverse. While it does sound like a fun thing to focus on, with the MCU franchise already doing enough, I don't know. I really don't think that there needs to be that much going forth. What I think they should do is, after Endgame, they should just have all those movies be a new franchise. Because here's the thing. We've already had 23 movies. Any more after that's a problem. And I just think that a movie franchise shouldn't be going on for more than 19 films. Because any more than that, any more than 19 movies in a franchise is proven how much more it's ran its course. And the MCU is the perfect example of that. Because all these new movies, I don't say I hate them, but they're not really doing much to set up. I just think that Marvel really should just make a separate franchise outside the MCU. Like all these new movies that are out, they should just have another cinematic universe, like two cinematic universes. Like, we should have another one called the Marvel's New Cinematic Universe or something like that. Just another universe, instead of trying to spend more time building up to the already pretty epic universe that we've already gotten enough epicness from. Look, I'll watch a Marvel movie any day still, okay? I'm not gonna hate on them. I can still love Marvel movies. I'm not gonna be that cruel. But I really do think that they need to stop with this big franchise. They need to stop building so much up with this huge franchise and just try to start a new one. Because like I said, with all the stuff that's already been happening, it's just more than 19 movies. You've done enough. There's not many other franchises that do that, make more than 19 movies. The only other example I could say is the James Bond movies, but they're over. After No Time to Die, I really think there shouldn't be any more Bond films, so I'm hoping after that there's no more. But the thing is, The reason that franchises like James Bond or MCU are franchises with some movies I actually have not watched. Yeah, funny enough, not every movie of the Marvel Cinematic Universe I've seen. And the reason behind that is that there are just too many. And it's just cuz I believe that only 19 or under films should be made for a franchise. Any more than 19 movies in a franchise just don't seem necessary. So what I think is any franchise that has more than 19 films are just ones that I'm not going to try to sit through all nonstop. I'm only going to sit through an entire franchise that has less than 20 films. Because any more than that is just pushing the bar too much. There's not too much more you should push. You should just have a franchise be so small. Not too small, but also not too large. So, like, yeah, under 19 films. Under 20 films, actually. Under 20 films is what every movie franchise should have. Because if a movie franchise tries to have more than that, they're not going to get too lucky with their success. They're going to be pushing too much. They're going to be being too much. They're going to force too much. I go to the MCU. They've kind of been having a little problem with their CGI and some of the other stuff for it. Because they've kind of used up enough of it. There really shouldn't be any more for it. So, yeah. In conclusion, any movie franchise that goes for over 19 films is a franchise I don't need to watch every film of. And is a franchise I think should not have gone that way. Every movie franchise, I think, should only have 19 movies or less. Any more than that won't work. So, yeah, at least 19 movies is what, I mean, not at least, at most 19 films. I keep getting at least and at most mixed up. What's wrong with me? I need to go back to school. But yeah, every movie franchise should have at most 19 movies. Because if you try to have more, you're going to cause more trouble. You're going to get more chaotic. You're going to try to be more chaotic, but you're just going to end up getting it boring and annoying. So yeah, again, I still love Marvel, but I would love it if they just make another separate franchise. One that can build up its own stuff, instead of trying to keep building up to what's already been built up. Now you might think we're done there, but ladies and gentlemen, guess what? We're not. So I'm sorry. You all still have to watch this video. I hate to break it to you, but you have to. I still have one more thing I want to discuss. TV shows. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Why would I discuss TV shows? That's not my thing. I'm not supposed to do that. But you know what? I'm going to. Because this is something I want to talk about with TV shows. This is just what I want to talk about of why, I'm not too much into TV shows. This same issue is with shows. Nowadays, there are so many shows out there that have been going on for way too long, and I think don't need to be. Stuff like Family Guy, Simpsons, SpongeBob, South Park, stuff like that. They've been going on for way too long. It's anywhere over 9 seasons of a show. 9 seasons. Yeah, my case with TV shows is that any TV show that has over 9 seasons is not something I'm going to binge. Take Family Guy, for example. I've been watching a lot of Family Guy. It's fun. But I've mostly just been watching the Family Guy that exists from season 1 to 9. Any Family Guy episode from season 10 or over, I've not been watching. I've not been worried about watching. Because if you have a TV show you want me to watch, I could watch it. But only up to the 9 seasons. I'm only going to watch a TV show up to season 9. Or at least, a TV show that has less than 9 seasons. So yeah, at most 9 seasons is a TV show I can watch all the way. If you recommend me a TV show to binge through that's over 9 seasons, I'm not going to watch all that. I'm only going to watch the first 9 seasons. Because, same with the movie franchises, for TV shows, I think that they should only last to at most 9 seasons. And thankfully, again, that's not something that's been happening too much. It's just with all these comedy shows. Thankfully, some other great shows like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, or stuff like that, they've only lasted for less than so. But with stuff like Family Guy or South Park, they've been going on for too long, and I think they should just stop. Because after 9 seasons, there's not much more they need to do. They've done enough. You gotta make 9 seasons last. Or not have too many like that. Just at most 9 seasons. So there it is. That's just what I want to bring up. So you all know my opinion on TV shows. One reason I don't binge through them as much as I binge through movies is because most of them have too much going on. And a movie isn't enough for me. My opinions are garbage, I know. So there you go. I think movie franchises should have at most 19 movies, because any more than that is pushing it and not something I'm going to watch all the way. I'm only going to watch at most 19 films for a franchise of a movie. And for a TV show, I would only watch at most 9 seasons for a show, because any more than that is, again, not too much, just not something they need to keep doing. So here's my opinion. Hope you enjoyed, but of course you didn't. Seems like I've been wasting my time with YouTube. I don't really mean anything to my career. It's just something I do for fun. I'm hoping my opinion I share will influence people. Will they can at least enjoy? But I feel like nowadays everyone who watches my videos don't care about my opinions. They just watch it just to look at me and laugh about how ridiculous I am. But why? Is it because I should start posting more on TikTok? Will that make y'all happy? Well, guess what, people? Say all you want, but I'm not doing that. TikTok can suck it.